Hi, I'm Zack Wingate, and this is my video blog on professional counseling skills for COUC 500. Are there any sessions you watched similar to what you imagined in a counseling session? Why or why not? I've actually had some counseling classes and a little bit of experience in the field. So for this video, it looked very similar to what I expected. However, before I had any training, it would look very different. I used to have the expectation that counseling was kind of solving life's problems and giving lots of great advice. And the more exposure I have to the field, the more I realize that it's being empathetic, being a great listener, and helping the client kind of walk through life and make discoveries for themselves on ways that they can improve. From your readings in chapters 8 and 9, what skills and counselor characteristics did you notice? So for the first video, in Stephanie's session, her counselor exhibited attending minimal encouragers to include verbal, and he did use solar, so his body language was good. He began the session with a brief review of last week, and then his door opener was asking about the previous week. His summary reflected a high degree of empathy. He noticed that she has a lot going on. She wants to have balance. Stephanie has the need for things to go well, and when that doesn't happen, she gets frustrated. That were reflected in the session. One kind of key thing I noticed was he noticed a deep breath that Stephanie took, and then through talking with her, connected that to her being overwhelmed. I thought that was a really good observation. So, in summary, the session started off reviewing work-life balance. The counselor assisted Stephanie to kind of realize her unfair expectations based on her performance in the face of overwhelming life situation, and they created the goal of for the next session to working on ways to streamline life. The theoretical perspective I picked would probably be Rogerian. He was very non-judgmental, had great positive regard, so I would say person-centered would probably be most likely there. For the second session, he began with Mariah again. Good opener. He summarized kind of what was going on, asked her about her last date, used attending minimal encouragers, less verbal than the previous counselor, also used solar well. He did have great summary skills to bring in higher empathy with stating, sounds like you're lonely often and engaging in these relationships that have you relying on other people and their interests so you can have interaction and not be lonely. I thought that was a very good reflection. And with that, they set some clear and measurable goals. So for the session, they started with her taking a date. She didn't, with an individual she didn't really think respected her preferences. And then he, by the end of the session, challenged her to find 2 activities that she enjoys and to invite at least one other person for one of the activities as a challenge. So that way she could, engage in things that she's more interested in doing for herself as opposed to doing things that she didn't want to do just to be with other people. The theoretical perspective I picked, I think, would be cognitive behavioral or behavioral theory. He challenged her mindset. He provided opportunities for reframing. He asked her to change her behavior through effective goal setting, and he confronted some contradictory thoughts.